Deep within the apothecary cabinets of antiquity lay a profound paradox, a plant whose pungent earthy odour was often compared to unwashed socks, yet whose effects were revered as a divine calmative. Why would healers across millennia prescribe such a foul-smelling botanical for the delicate afflictions of the mind and spirit? How did this notoriously stinky root manage to fundamentally influence sleep science and shape our modern understanding of human stress? The journey of this peculiar remedy offers a fascinating window into the intersection of ancient intuition and modern neurobiology. The answer begins with a deceptively elegant plant known scientifically as Valeriana officinalis. Towering in damp European and Asian meadows with clusters of delicate pink and white flowers, its true power lies hidden beneath the dark soil. The roots contain a complex matrix of volatile oils and compounds that develop their characteristic sharp, musky scent only as they dry and age. To understand its profound historical journey is to explore the realm of ethnobotany, the scientific study of how people of a particular culture and region make use of indigenous plants for medical and spiritual purposes. Long before modern laboratories could isolate active molecules, the brilliant minds of ancient Greece recognized the undeniable physical effects of this botanical. Hippocrates, often regarded as the father of modern medicine, meticulously documented its properties in the 4th century before the Common Era. He did not dismiss the root for its offensive odour, but rather celebrated it as a potent, reliable remedy for nervous unrest, trembling, and digestive complaints. The Greek physicians understood that nature often hid its most powerful medicines behind challenging sensory barriers. By the time the Roman Empire reached its zenith, the plant had woven itself deeply into the daily lives of citizens seeking respite from a chaotic, rapidly expanding world. The esteemed physician Galen formally prescribed it for severe insomnia, recognizing that restorative sleep was not merely a passive state, but an active, necessary pillar of human health. He often administered the root as a decoction, a meticulous method of boiling down tough herbal material in water to extract its soluble chemical substances and deepest therapeutic essences. As centuries turned and empires fell, the quiet wisdom of those early Mediterranean healers fueled a quiet revolution in European monastic gardens. Medieval doctors inherited these ancient texts, cultivating the pungent plant meticulously while observing its consistent ability to soothe the weary traveller and the anxious noble alike. During this era, the perception of human stress was gradually shifting from a purely spiritual failing or demonic affliction to a recognizable physiological imbalance, and this humble plant stood at the very center of that medical evolution. The underlying mechanics of this soothing effect remained shrouded in mystery for generations, largely attributed to balancing the bodily humours rather than specific molecular interactions. Early alchemists and apothecaries knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that the root worked, but they lacked the scientific vocabulary to describe the phytochemicals, the biologically active compounds produced by plants that affect human health, which were quietly orchestrating this profound neurological relief. They trusted the results, even if the invisible machinery of the plant remained hidden in the dark. A pivotal transformation in the herb's legacy occurred during the massive societal upheavals of 17th century Europe. As populations rapidly urbanized, plague outbreaks lingered, and the general pace of life accelerated. A new epidemic of nervous tension, often broadly and historically labelled as hysteria, swept through the populace. Valerian experienced a massive, unprecedented resurgence, transitioning from a simple rural garden remedy into a highly sought-after, expensive commercial tonic for acute anxiety and nervous disorders. This era marked the true evolution of a stinky root into a sophisticated tool for managing human stress on a societal level. It was no longer just a folklore tradition passed down by village herbalists, but a recognized pharmaceutical standard stocked in every major city, apothecary from London to Paris. The pungent, earthy scent became synonymous with medical relief, a sensory promise to the weary public that the tangled, exhausted nerves of the modern citizen were about to be gently untied. The monumental leap from historical reliance to modern scientific validation required the advent of advanced analytical chemistry in the 20th century. Researchers determined to decode the ancient texts began meticulously isolating the specific compounds hidden within the dried root fibers. They discovered a unique, highly complex suite of molecules, most notably identifying valerianic acid, which finally provided a measurable chemical consistency to the plant's legendary sedative effects, proving the ancient doctors right. This groundbreaking discovery fundamentally altered the trajectory of neuropharmacology, revealing exactly how the plant interacts with the intricate architecture of the human brain. Valerianic acid was found to directly influence GABA receptors, the primary inhibitory neurotransmitters responsible for calming the central nervous system. By preventing the rapid breakdown of gamma-aminobutyric acid, the root effectively turns down the volume on neural excitability, perfectly mimicking the brain's own natural biochemical pathways for initiating sleep. The revelation of this specific mechanism was a watershed moment in sleep science, bridging the vast gap between ancient medicinal intuition and modern evidence-based medicine. It proved that the Greek philosophers and European apothecaries had been manipulating human neurochemistry with astonishing, pinpoint precision for thousands of years. The root was not a magical panacea or a placebo, but a highly targeted biological key fitting perfectly into the microscopic locks of human anxiety. Yet, as scientists peered ever deeper into the cellular structure of Valeriana officinalis, they realized the story was far more complex than a single isolated chemical. The plant contains over 100 identified compounds, including iridoids, alkaloids, and volatile essential oils, working in a highly orchestrated natural symphony. Some contemporary herbalists and researchers even debate its classification as a mild adaptogen, a natural substance considered to help the body adapt to stress and exert a normalizing, balancing effect upon bodily processes. This staggering botanical complexity presented a fascinating new puzzle for clinical researchers attempting to standardize the herb for mass pharmaceutical production. When valerianic acid was completely isolated in a laboratory and administered entirely alone, it often failed to produce the same robust, reliable sedative effects as the traditional whole root preparation. Why did the stinky, unrefined whole plant consistently outperform its purified, highly engineered chemical ghost? The answer lay in the critical concept of botanical synergy, a principle that has deeply influenced the modern cultural shift toward holistic health and natural remedies. People began to realize that nature's pharmacy is rarely singular, and the global perception of natural sleep aids shifted to deeply value whole plant integrity over synthetic single-molecule sedatives. The pungent aroma was finally recognized, not as a flaw to be bred out, but as a vital, active indicator of the plant's full, uncompromised medicinal profile. Recent clinical studies utilizing advanced electroencephalograms have observed profound, measurable outcomes in patients utilizing this traditional remedy. Precise measurements of sleep architecture show that the root does not merely knock a person unconscious, as many harsh synthetic drugs do, but rather gently decreases sleep latency and significantly improves the quality of deep, restorative, slow-wave sleep. The rigorous empirical data of the modern laboratory finally caught up with thousands of years of patient human observation. The unbroken lineage of this therapy is a towering testament to the enduring power and accuracy of ethnobotanical knowledge. From the sun-drenched islands of antiquity to the bustling aromatic pharmacies of the Renaissance, the practical application remained remarkably, stubbornly consistent. The echoes of those sacred ancient rituals still lingered in modern sleep clinics, validating the meticulous, handwritten records kept by generations of forgotten healers. Studying this specific botanical interaction has subsequently shaped our broader, modern understanding of how human sleep cycles are regulated and disrupted. By carefully mapping how Valerian modulates neurotransmitters, neurobiologists gained crucial, unexpected insights into the chemical thresholds of human stress and relaxation. The humble plant served as a natural biological probe, illuminating the dark, intricate, and often fragile pathways of the anxious human mind. Today, the global reliance on this ancient natural aid continues to grow exponentially, standing as a foundational pillar in the expanding field of integrative medicine. It represents a perfect, harmonious synthesis of historical faith and hard chemical fact, proving that our ancestors possessed a profound intuitive grasp of complex pharmacology. The stinky root has rightfully earned its permanent place, not just in the dusty annals of history, but in the rigorous, peer-reviewed journals of contemporary science. Ultimately, the profound influence of this remarkable plant on sleep science is a beautiful story of human curiosity and nature's quiet, unassuming provision. It teaches us that true healing often comes wrapped in unexpected, even unpleasant, sensory packages. By trusting the ancient wisdom of the earth and applying the unyielding rigor of the laboratory, we unlocked a timeless remedy, proving that sometimes the most profound answers to our modern anxieties have been growing quietly beneath our feet all along.